Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Coming to you with a review for Married to Medicine. This is season 7. This is actually episode 2, Stirring the Teapot. I am hoping that you guys cannot hear this little small USB fan. If you can, I'm sorry, but I get hot under this light and I start coughing, and that's no bueno. But of course, if you guys are new to my channel, I would love to have you as a member of the tribe. Join the honeybees. Hit that subscription button as well as the notification bell next to it. Don't forget the thumbs up button. That's like saying, hey, Miss Honey, as well as comment down below. Let me say this. I had a commenter leave a not so nice, I took it as not so nice, comment down below for last episode. I left it up as well as my response to what the commenter had to say. It's not that you cannot leave me negative comments or criticize my reviews. I don't see a problem necessarily with it, but don't be mean to me. Don't be mean to me. And don't be telling me what I need and what you shoulda and what you... Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, because that's going to make me then tell you how you could have left a better comment. Okay? But... having said all that, let me say this. I'm going to really try to be more balanced. Y'all know how I feel about Heavenly. But you know what? I'm going to spread the love, okay? Because I got some things to say about quite a few people this season, okay? Heavenly being one of them. Not for this episode, but Dr. Jackie and Toya and Quad. And I'm sure Mariah's going to get thrown in there at some point. Right now, Mariah's doing what she does best, which is be a victim. And she likes to collect people on her side to agree with her so that she can then say, everybody feels the same way, that the way you talked to me and the way you treated me wasn't fair. So, truly anybody can get it this season. I'm just being real honest. And a lot of the ladies are getting real comfortable, including Dr. Contessa, who, you, as you guys know, was one of my favorites last season. So let's just talk about, all of the opening conversations. We get to see Dr. Simone come home, and she's got three men in her home, 2 adults and a minor male. And obviously she did not teach any of them to take the trash out on a regular basis, because nobody should have left the house with leaving all that trash. Like, I I don't understand it. I don't understand people who are well to do and they have every opportunity to rear their children in a way that is untethered by some of the things that middle class people go through. You know what I mean? Like, middle class people, to me, have more of an excuse when it comes to having to work double, triple time to raise their children, because everybody's got these responsibilities and obligations, and you can't forget things. But when you're well to do and you can have somebody come in and clean up, or you can spend a little bit more time with your children and really groom them and not have to worry about the pressures of finances breathing down your neck. For me, I just don't see any excuse why it's happening. That's just me. Also, we get to see Heavenly and Allure. They go to get their nails done. Allure is 13 now, and she is absolutely, positively gorgeous. She is a beautiful girl. And to me, it's it's Damon's side of the family. I mean, you can see some very Caribbean features. You know, he's from Antigua, I think. I think that's right. Anyway, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, put it down below. But you can see her Caribbean features. I mean, she's an absolutely beautiful girl, still very outspoken. And they have a little conversation about, you know, basically Heavenly wanting her to still be her little girl. And Allure is like, no, I'm growing up and you can't stop me. Okay. We do get a chance to see Simone and in her office, but we're gonna talk about that. We see the ladies get together for lunch. Contessa, Heavenly, and I think it was Quad. Quad came in late for that lunch too, and they got to talking. And they were just talking about some of the things that were coming up that they were expecting. But evidently, Dr. Jackie, who surprisingly has become one of my least favorite people. I think Dr. Jackie is a bit haughty. I don't know if haughty is the right word. Uppity. I think she looks down at her nose. Down her nose at some of the ladies. I think that she feels as though some of their behaviors, some of their concerns, some of their emotions are wasted, and it's because they not busy, because they don't have education, because they don't have business about themselves. She just comes across a little bit better than, to me, a lot. And I'm seeing it a lot more in the confessional, just because she says things really pretty, and Mariah kind of pointed it out a few seasons ago. She plays it like she is not involved. She doesn't argue. She's just very, very controlled and modest and humble, but she steady throws shade and digs and things like that. So she's gonna have an emergent tea. Y'all know she known for these corny things. Now she had a couple of seasons ago, she had a lemon squeeze where everybody whoever had the lemon could chit chat. If you didn't have the lemon, you couldn't talk. Now this time she having an emergent tea, which is like a ladies' tea, but it's supposed to help rebuild the friendships. Cause she told Heavenly that she was very, very sad with the fact that her and Simone weren't friends. They were a trio, and she misses that. And she kind of tried to get emotional about it, but I was just like, visit with Contessa. Visit with Quad. Visit with Mariah. Like, expand your circle a little bit. But she doesn't do that. She doesn't do that because she doesn't consider them to be on her level. They are not doctors. They are not heavily educated. And that's, I mean, y'all tell me if y'all disagree with me. I think she deals with the other ladies. Simone and Heavenly are people that she really considered to be her friend, and the other ladies are, you know, tolerated to me when it comes to Jackie. Contessa is coming back from Nashville. Of course, Scott is home with the kids. Whose name do we hear more than anybody's? Layla! Layla! Come on, Layla. Stop, Layla. Layla, what are you doing? Scott is trying to get dinner on for the kids. There are clothes in the living room. They've spilled something. They clean it up. Sometimes the cleanup of the spill is worse than the actual spill itself. Kids, you know, you're trying to cook and get things on, and the kids are all over the place and hollering at each other, and he's still in his work clothes. Like, it was a breeding ground for an argument. It was clear to me that that they were gonna argue. Like when she came in, she came from the airport, she got in the car, she went by the McDonald's and got them all something to eat. He was kind of insulted because why would you bring something that you think I wouldn't have cooked for them this late at night? And the kids was like, "Mommy!" Of course, I'm sure he felt a type of way about that too. And it was just like I said, it was the perfect storm. Um, when she mentioned those clothes, I think that was at the point where he lost it, and he was like, "I clean up," and she was like, "Not really." After I put the kids to bed, I'm gonna tidy up. She was like, I doubt it. When she come home, he probably checks out. When she comes home, he is probably like, boom, it's all yours now, and disappears. And then she's left to clean up and tidy up and just get everything together. Like, I know, I can kind of tell what's going on. I think where he went below the belt was when he said this was a harebrained idea that she had. And she was like, "No, we talked about me going to Nashville and changing careers." And honestly, yeah, she has done quite a bit to advance herself. She's done quite a bit to make herself happy in terms of changing lanes. And she wanted to get the double mastectomy. She also wanted to go part-time, and he has supported her through all of that. So I can certainly see Scott's point of view. It was a very authentic moment. It was a very authentic argument. I think they both had valid points. I do believe they both talked about it. I don't think that he is pissed with the fact of what she's doing. I think he might be slightly resentful. Um, because he doesn't want to be the heavy at home. He does want her to be there more, and he not take the brunt of the work, even if it's just 2 days a week. I can see it. I can see why he would feel that way, and I sympathize with him. I can also see why she feels like she should be able to take the opportunity to do whatever it is she wants to do in life. And they should work together to achieve those goals, his and hers. So I get it. Contessa and Scott are still hands down some of my favorite people. I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen with her and Toya. We don't get to see a lot in this episode in terms of their interaction. We do learn that Toya had a miscarriage, and she's there in the office with Simone. It's an emotional moment. The whole family knew about it, and she's trying to hold together for the kids. We've learned from other shows that miscarriages are very devastating to women and to couples. So, yeah, I mean, that would explain a lot of why she didn't get up and get rah-rah with Contessa. I do have a problem with the fact that she's playing it out like Contessa is being this raging bully with her, and she doesn't have the capacity to be a friend to her. Like, I'm like, Contessa had a double mastectomy. You never even went to see that girl. Okay, you dogged her all last season. Contessa has every reason to be pissed at you, Toya. And honest and truly, you owe her a sincere apology, and you owe her effort. That's what you owe Contessa. You owe Contessa some effort. Okay? Put some effort into mending the relationship and building it up. Don't sit there at emergency and act like you've just gone through so much, and maybe you just look at friendship a little bit differently than other people. Maybe you do. And maybe you treat friends, people you want to be your friend, differently than maybe you treat them in a way that's not as equitable. In other words, I want you to be here for me, but I don't have to be here for you. I reserve the right to poo-poo your stuff. Okay? That's how it's coming across to me with Toya. On one hand, I feel bad for her. On the other hand, I'm like, Toya, hush. Be quiet. We do get to see Quad. Quad is in divorce mediation right now when she goes to lunch with Contessa and with Heavenly. She's a lot more open this season, and she does talk about the fact that she wants to get involved with somebody eventually, and she wants them to be long and dong and strong. And I second that emotion, sister. Right on, right on. I hear what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting no younger. Okay, you need everything to be in tune. Now, she is not beyond keeping herself tuned up, and I support that as well. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sense in you being out here all dry mouth. It's no sense in you out here looking at folks like they pork chops. Okay, you need to take your levels down a little bit, and that way you can act civilized in public. Okay, so let's go on to emergency. Dr. Jackie's house on the outside is beautiful. It is a lovely home. On the inside, I can see why she is gutting it and she is renovating. It is so dark and old looking. What is that furniture doing? I just don't understand it. I was like, ugh. Anyway, she got a lady there from her church. I don't know if the lady's a counselor or a therapist or whatever. She seemed to have done a great job. Her whole look, her whole aesthetic was a little bit off-putting, but I have decided I'm not going to dwell on that because the woman came there for a purpose, and she seemed like she was more than qualified to be a mediator. Y'all know Jackie likes to stand and pontificate, and it's kind of like, you know, schooling all the girls on how they supposed to behave. Now, I don't want to be put in the middle. And basically, she brought them all together so she can get Simone and Heavenly back together. I don't think she really cares a whole lot about what the other ladies have going on. Heavenly did talk to Dr. Jackie about the fact that she was being real dismissive to Mariah at Damon's thing, and Jackie just kept playing dumb. She just kept playing dumb. Now, what does that mean your slip is showing? Really? Really, Jackie? Now, we can look at you and tell that you a woman of a certain age. I know you know what a slip is. And I know you know what it is when your slip is showing and somebody has to remind you to pull your skirt down or pull your slip over because we can see your slip. You know what that means. And this is what I'm talking about. You playing kind of dumb and crazy about this. It just screams, what do I want to say? It's false humility, for one. Shout out to Ramrose. But it's just like, I had no idea what she was talking about. Like, was she speaking English? Like, was that even viable conversation? I don't even, it was just so patronizing. That's what it is. She's patronizing. Ugh. Condescending. I don't. Jackie's not my favorite this season, and we just in episode 2. Anyway, she has the ladies over. They have tea, and they all have hats. Some of the ladies wore hats. Some of the ladies didn't. Quad came in late as usual. And Quad's storyline this season is to finally speak up and about the things that went on last season, apparently. And she's doing it with all the Quad dramatics. And this is the thing. I love Quad on Instagram. I think Quad is great on Instagram. On this show, I tend to have an issue with how dramatic she is. And Quad is a very selfish individual. Very selfish individual. When she was sitting at lunch with Heavenly and Contessa, and she was talking about how and my daddy told me you don't sleep with everybody and you don't have it. I was like, Quad, you know good and well you was a little hoish. Especially when you and Mariah was hanging out real tough. I mean, it was a lot of conversation about things that went on when you was trying to pull Dr. Gregory. So now for you to come across kind of like Jackie, kind of like high and mighty, kind of like you without blemish or blame. We're not buying it, Quad. We're not buying it at all. And I see what's going on. She wants to be considered sort of wise and a bit of a guru and an expert in situations. And Quad is the same thing she's always been, a frightened little black girl. And it's just coming across real thick. She's landed on real thick. And we just in episode 2. So we get to high tea, and Jackie's got these little cards that she gon' they look like little fans that says I am angry because, or I am disappointed because, or my feelings were hurt because. They sort of jump starts the conversation about what it is you're angry about, what it is you're disappointed about, what it is you're upset about, that type of thing. Everybody's supposed to pull one out. And I think Mariah went first. And, to me, she has a valid point. I understand what Mariah is saying when she says she did not like the way Dr. Jackie expressed about the cocaine comment that Quad made on the podcast. And what she said was, do you think that Quad should have told that Mariah used drugs? But you're saying it like it's true. Like, who has seen her use drugs? Has this been validated? Are these receipts? If not, you can't say it in that fashion. She said it as though it's commonplace knowledge that everybody know that Mariah do drugs. You think Quad should have mentioned it? To me, that's how it came across. Seems like that's how Mariah is taking it. I don't have no problem with Mariah having an issue with that. I do have a problem with Jackie acting like she don't understand what Mariah's problem is. Especially if she don't know it to be true. Now, if she know it to be true, if she know it to be fact, then say that. Say that. Say that. Stand by it. Own it. I would have more respect for her if she did. But you being slick shady. You are. And so if Mariah expressed herself, I think Heavenly went and expressed herself. Heavenly, Simone talked about the fact that she was angry and she was disappointed that she shared some things in private with a friend and then her friend regurgitated it. Now, I didn't really talk about this a lot last week, because I wasn't really sure about all the moving parts of the story. But now that I've gotten a little bit more information about the situation, to me it is 50-50 on Cecil's side and on Heavenly's side, in my opinion. In my opinion, they both should have been thinking of Simone. I've been in a very similar situation. I've got a good friend that I was just thinking about this weekend that I miss terribly. But her husband and I are not cool. Like, I could be cool with him, but he's not cool with me. And, I think once he realized that I wasn't going to go back and forth with him because I love her and I didn't want to talk about him like that. Now, I could talk about him. I could drag him. I could drag him real, real good and would be right and got receipts. But I wouldn't do that because that would hurt her. Okay? But he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind dragging me to her. He doesn't mind dragging me publicly. So I just had to stay from around him because I could see every time he got an opportunity to have a joke at my expense, then he would. And I couldn't retort because he would get angry on a whole nother level, and it made it seem like I was being inappropriate with him. And I couldn't have that. So she got to a point where I could tell that he just did not want us to be friends at all. He wanted her to choose, and she made a choice, and I think that that's fine. I do miss her as a friend, but not really. Not really, because it is what it is. At the same time, I see Simone's point that Cecil shouldn't have never got started. Cecil shouldn't have gotten involved because it would hurt Simone. He did it for his own selfish gain and entertainment. And Dr. Heavenly, there is never a reason, never ever a reason as a friend that you repeat something that you know was told to you in confidence. And not, it's not that you saw Cecil at the gas station and you said it to him. It's that you tweeted it. You put it on Twitter. Okay, and to me it was apples and oranges. If he was joning you about your house being nasty, why would you take it to the fifth level and go and talk about something personal? You could have joined Cecil about any number of things. One, about the how much plaid he got in his closet. Cecil is like the plaid king. He's got plaid jackets, plaid ties, plaid shirts, plaid golf shirts, plaid pants. Like, he is the plaid king. Okay, and you could have drawn him out about that. For you to go and pick something that was told to you in confidence is there's no excuse for it. You might as well apologize for it and take it back. And going forward, one of the two of you, between you and Cecil, ought to shut up. One of y'all should have had a sense to shut up and not say a word about it. And that's what should have happened. If you had a problem with something Cecil said, you should have got on the phone and called Simone and said, you need to get your husband because he's out of line. Period. That's how I feel about that situation. Is it something insurmountable? No. But at the same time, for me, I would always be waiting for her to say something inappropriate. I probably would not share really intimate things with her anymore because I don't know. You don't have a lot of self-control when it comes to that. Like, you don't respect the boundary. So that's all I got to say about that. We do get to see Quad do this whole grandstanding thing where I think she went last after Toya did this thing where she was like, well, I guess, maybe I'm just using the term friendship lightly, and she started crying, and Contessa was looking at her like, really, girl? Really? Oh, okay. Now, again, she didn't acknowledge how poorly she treated Contessa last year. And she was quite aggressive with Contessa last year. So now she's emotional. She's had a miscarriage and she wants to play the victim. But nobody can play the victim like Quad. Quad goes to pull her cards out of the pail, and she pulls 5 or 6 of them. And then she preaches to the ladies about gossip and how she's not going to be participating in gossip. And if you want to drag one another, you will do it without me. I mean, she just pontificates. She does. And she lets them know that she is way up here behavior wise and being a lady and being, it was just, she was so high and mighty. Boy, when I tell you, them ladies, the way they tickled me, they were so bored. They were so over it. I think Toya was the funniest in the confessional about the whole situation. And finally, then she looks at Simone and says, I would like to know if we could get together and try to rekindle. And then she has this break in her voice. And I promise you, Mariah was looking like, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about this. She put 20 on 10. She is extra, 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 extra. Like, it's always a performance. It's always a performance. And she sells it like she is so serious. And like she is just completely, completely emotional. She's broken. She's terrified. If that situation calls for that. She's devastated. Like, whatever it is she's feeling, she puts as much on it as she possibly can, and she blows it up. And she took a good 20-25 minutes of the whole tea to just talk about herself and to read everybody for their behavior, to school everybody and chastise everybody and tell them what they should be doing better. And how she wasn't going to wallow in the mud with these common, it's just so much. I was like, Quad, thanks for reminding us all why we give you so much shade. Later on, the tea goes over and they pray it out and hug it out. And it seems like Jackie and Mariah came to some middle ground. We see, I don't remember Simone and Heavenly, but I definitely see where Quad and Simone talked about meeting privately. And after everything was said and done, the next day they meet for dinner. And Simone got there at she must have got there at 6:30. She got there at 7. Seemed like she got there at 7. 7:45, 7:30, no Quad. 7:45, no Quad. 8:45, Quad comes in. And by this time, she had ordered the food. She had just ordered the food. She hadn't gotten it yet. But Quad comes in. And she comes in like she called a staff meeting. She wants to talk about what went on. So talk to me and tell me what's going on. Like, she just took the meeting on. She was like, oh, Simone was like, oh, you gonna jump right into it. And Quad was like, well, yeah, I don't have time, girl. I got to go to work in the morning. I don't have time to dilly-dally. What do you mean you don't have time? You over 2 hours late almost. Or right at 2 hours late. Okay? What are you talking about? It was just such a completely different energy than it was at the merging team. And Simone says it in the confessional. I don't know the difference between the Quad from yesterday and the Quad from today. Today, the Quad from today was all about business. And again, I think this plays into her trying to make sure she solidifies a storyline. Her going back to what was said at Heavenly's Crab Boil last season is utterly ridiculous, because they have talked about it, they have apologized, they have sorted it. It's no reason for her to still be talking about it. Sorry, you guys, the air just came on. And it is ridiculous. I mean, we're all sitting there looking at her like, what? Why are you being so aggressive? Simone's like, no, we talked about that. Well, tell me again. She was like, I'm not going to tell you again because we hashed it out. Like, no, I want to hear you say it again. She was trying to take control. First of all, being late is a power move. I've already told y'all that. Having someone wait on you is a power move. And then you come in and you're so curt and short and aggressive and just professional. Very professional. How are we doing today? Good, good, good. Simone's like, how are you? I am well, and you? And yourself? It's not warm. It's not, girl, let's talk. Let's really get it out. It's not like that. She's handling Simone. Simone realizes it. And, of course, she's not the best with her emotions. She gets up. She said, I don't have to tell you nothing. I'm not doing this. And she storms out. It was all too much. Being late, coming in, Kurt, and now you want to talk about this old stuff? She felt bamboozled. She felt bamboozled. And when she stormed out there, you know, when she had that fight with Toya, they stormed out of Top. She stormed out of Top Golf the same way. I believe she drove off and left Cecil there. Well, honey, she peeled out again. In that Maserati, I think that's what it is. She peeled out again, and she was like, I can't believe this ish. I was like, I agree with you. I was like, come on, Quad. This is some of the stuff that Dr. G was talking about. It is. And y'all tell me what you think. Y'all put it down below. But that is Married to Medicine Season 7, Episode 2, Stirring the Teapot. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about this whole emergence tea. How do you guys feel about what I'm saying about Jackie and Quad and just that whole demeanor where you truly feel like you're above the other ladies in some capacity. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah.